All right, folks, good morning. Let's get started with our primary live trade brief. Hang on. I want to make some Amazon short call profit here. If I can take $1,500 in a couple minutes, I'm going to do it. 25.45, 24.45. Put those order in just so I can sit here in the background and have it. Hang on. Do. All right. Good stuff. All right, guys. Good morning. Let's go ahead and get airborne here. We got a lot going on in our primary brief here. Go through my positions real quick. Amazon, AMC. Oh man, I did not get filled on Amazon, and there it goes, baby. AMC, Tesla, and the rut there. See if I need to get out of those Amazon calls. Going to keep an eye on them. Hey, real quick. Yes, let me show you yesterday. Because again, guys, the hunters is where you need to be. Let me show you yesterday's trades. There's yesterday's trades. And that was $10,955 in a day. Well, not even a day. It was in a couple hours of just hanging out, taking some Amazon shots. Because you guys know me, I don't sit here all day. Worked out twice, went for a run on the beach, had my car looked at, and a bunch of other shit, man. Picked up Keely from school. 11 grand in a day, which is half of lifetime membership, man. So on your screen is $11,000 in a day. So I'm telling you, man, the hunters is where you want to be. We're the max group, which we've talked about. So I get emails randomly on it, so that's why I bring it up randomly. So here's the link to do it. It's only $4.97 a month. Even though I'm trading a larger account, folks, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm only using about 150 grand in haircut. How much am I using for Amazon? Hang on. Men lie, numbers don't. Yeah, so right here, guys, it's 181,000 in Amazon. Cut that in half. And then this is why I call it solo Amazon. You could just trade Amazon. If you just cut that in half, instead of making 11 grand yesterday, you made $5,500 in a day. I think Christine, you did that. Christine over in our Max Afterburner group. Is I don't know if she's doing half, but when I said, hey, I made 11 today, she's like, I made about 5. So definitely good stuff. Fritz, how do I get unmuted? You don't get unmuted. I don't want 123 people talking in my briefs. If you have a question or something, or if you want to type, you can type, but nobody's unmuted in our stuff. Wow, Ann, yesterday 39 grand. What? Today, 31 based on your short calls. Are you shitting me? Christina, loved podcast 9. It helped my husband refocus on his healing, and he sent it to the rest of his healed team. Oh, that's awesome, Christina. Look at this. I'm going to grab both of these because I like both of those. They make me smile. Ann is doing some good work. Ann, you did better than me yesterday. That is fantastic. I'm saving that, man. Yeah, the link's in the chat. So it's the hunters is. Let me cover something with the hunters real quick. 31K day short calls. Good job, Ann. Keep up the good work, man. Woman, that's good stuff. Yeah, it's not a competition. I get it. But no, real quick, Ram. I don't know if you're in here, but Ram was up here, is like in the Hunter series. Like, well, first of all, can you share your base position? I did that. I said, here's my base position. But how do I get text alerts sent to my cell phone? So obviously, full throttle is text alerts sent to your cell phone. I sent and solo Amazon. I sent a text alert yesterday. But the hunters is this. The Max Afterburner lifetime is this. These aren't text alerts. These are, I sit here, I sent a text alert yesterday in solo Amazon, and you saw it took about 10 minutes to do. So this is not, the hunters and the lifetime are not text alerts, folks. It's physically impossible. Literally, you see what I'm doing. I place a trade, I copy, I sit here, I fire, and I paste and go. Yeah, I can't do that. It's text alerts. That's not how that works. So Ram, I don't know if you're talking about text alerts for the hunters. How do I get text alerts sent to my cell phone? You don't with the hunters and the Macs. That's all right here. I mean, I got my group me on my iPad, and I post stuff to it, and I got my group me for the hunters thing, but there's no text alerts in the hunters or the thing. It's just it's a waste of time. It just can't happen. I'm sorry, it's right here. So this stuff is all. This is the hunters, and there's no text alerts. This is the Max Afterburner, and there are no text alerts. These are apps, right? Exactly. You can get a group me for your phone. Oh, you can, Scott? I didn't know that. Scott's saying you can get group me for your phone and have it set to give you text. I didn't know that. I need to look into that. That's good stuff. Thanks for that heads up, man. All right. Hey, real quick on, I forgot. Once a week I get like a report on how the blog's doing. So I forget that I write a blog because I don't. We scrape content. I pay whatever the name of the dude is. So options on semiconductor companies, options trading risk and reward ratio, option trading win-loss ratio, how to exercise an option, written by Matthew Buckley. If you guys think I wrote this, you're high. I don't. We pay a pretty reputable options trading service to do this. So do me a favor, go to the blog and check this out. So let me hit paste right there. Go to the blog. There's a ton of content on here, and it's really good content. Mark, I get text alerts from GroupMe, but it is really annoying since your phone is always alerting you. That's what I thought too. You can get alerts to all this stuff, but guys, based on the amount that we trade, I mean, over here, folks, there's 101 people. You know, at least, I mean, hell, all my trades would be a lot, let alone everybody. So all the dinging and texting might be a little much. So yeah, so I don't do that. I mean, like I said, if I'm leaving the house, I usually don't trade. I set my stuff. Again, I don't day trade, guys, but sitting here, if I'm going to be sitting here around my solo Amazon brief, I'm going to trade before it, during it, kind of like I'm doing right now, and a little after. But so there's, just to be clear, there's no text alerts because it doesn't make sense. No, Bob. So November 20th, there is no event on November 20th. Maverick has been pushed to May 27th. So we are releasing our movie, No Fallen Heroes, is going to be on May 27th. So what we're planning to do is like rent the iPic down here in like Boca, and we're going to watch Maverick, the world premiere of Top Gun 2 Maverick, and then we'll have a little party in the middle, and and then we're going to go watch No Fallen Heroes. So that's the game plan. So when they moved Maverick, we moved our event. We thought about maybe trying to string something together, but I don't. You guys know me. I'm not half pregnant. I don't like doing things half-assed. But good stuff, Christina. I really appreciate that. Let me read again what she said, because her husband, Herb, right, went down for treatment. Loved podcast 9. It helped my husband refocus on his healing, and he sent it to the rest of his heal team. Okay, so please do me a favor, if you haven't been listening to the podcast, please take some time to check it out, because the last one was great. We had Ponch, who's a Top Gun Options member, on there, former Tomcat guy, and Slider, former F-18 guy who accidentally killed 12 innocent Iraqis, man, and the dude is healed. He's a new man. Yeah, it was fun to do, and it was funny. So take a listen to episode 9 when you get a chance. It is well worth your time here. So anything else? Did covered that, covered the blog, covered everything. Okay, let's go and get airborne. So Joe Biden, he's just an embarrassment to this nation, the country. I love at the top of the global Times, tracing COVID-19 origins. Not once on Joe Biden's phone call with Xi Jinping did the word COVID come up. The Communist Chinese Party unleashed a biological attack on the world. Not a word. Killed millions of people. Sleepy Joe, not a word. Matter of fact, the Chinese are doing a great job of accusing us, right? You guys, shameless plug, you read COVID Crash. You should have read it by now. Donald Trump, not going to call it China virus. The media were calling it the China virus because they knew Donald Trump had just gotten a victory with China with the trade war. And then he said, it ain't coming here. I trust Xi. He's a good dude. I'm like, oh my God, you idiot. And then when it came here and people are dying and holy shit, this thing's out of the bottle, he started calling it the China virus, China. And then the media called him a racist for calling it a China virus. And then he's like, it started in a lab there. And they said, no, it actually started in your lab. I mean, it's awesome. What an absolute shit show. I met a former Marine with nightmares from Afghanistan, gave him the link to your podcast night. Oh, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that, Randy. Christina, let me know if you don't see it soon because we sent out boxes and boxes of books. But he kind of gave Xi, this is a victory for Xi, this summit that they did, this virtual summit, right? What, Joe Biden too old to hop on an airplane and fly over and like shake hands, or this dude can't fly here? We're doing virtual summits now. So this was embarrassing. Xi Biden virtual summit sends positive signal. The key is to implement consensus spirit. If you're Xi Jinping, you're taking back Taiwan. If you're Xi Jinping, you're not in the least bit scared of. Just go to work. Go do all of it. Most republics fail after 250 years, and we are right there, man. They print money, they tax themselves, they have horrific military blunders. You fill in the blank, we have all of them. We are a failing republic. Inflation, people who get paid not to work. We have everything that a failing nation has. So maybe they just didn't meet in person because his crackhead son would want to come again, like he did on Air Force Two, and to do another crack deal or something over there. Yeah, exactly. All in 8 months, this has happened. So we got sophomore, junior, and senior year of Joe Biden coming, guys. How you feeling about that? I love seeing the infighting between Kamala and the White House. I mean, the woman's, they've already passed her over like she's done. One-term vice president. That'll really help women and minority rights. They're going with Mayor Pete. I was in South Bend 2 weekends ago. You want Mayor Pete? Anyway, I can't even. The guy, Xi Jinping, and his country has killed millions of people around the world, innocent people, with this virus that they were going to unleash on Hong Kong and Taiwan, and not a word. I promise if I'm elected president to get to the bottom of this. I didn't. I ordered a 90-day report. It was muffled and buried. Love or hate Donald Trump, I think right about now he would be pounding Xi Jinping into the dirt. But let's just pretend everything's great. Whistle past the graveyard. We have a potential shit show coming, guys. December 3rd. This has got to be out there. I listened to the call today coming back from the gym. These guys, big people have to hedge. They definitely have to hedge. I briefed a little bit yesterday, but let's cover it for people who aren't in solo Amazon. Mitch McConnell, Cocaine Mitch, last month said he blinked. The debt ceiling, he took us kind of up to the edge and then blinked. Cocaine Mitch, for when Trump was president, we're not going to default on our debt. We're going to get a deal done. A month ago, he took the Democrats kind of up to the breaking point and then said, okay, we're going to cave. But then he sat down and wrote a letter to Joe Biden that says, We will not do this again. Now, of course, Cocaine Mitch can cave again, even though he said he won't. But how close are we going to get, folks? The debt ceiling, December 3rd, is when Janet Yellen, turncoat Yellen, is saying that we exhaust our extraordinary measures. We are so deep into our overdraft, folks. She is saying they will exhaust on December 3rd. So if they don't use the reconciliation progress, folks, if they're going to try and do this without one Republican vote, you know how they have to do it? Instead of one big ka-chunk, they have to do it by like department and individual. It would take weeks to do, which means they should be starting now, and they're not. It's not even brought up, guys. Infrastructure victory signing. They introduced the lady speaking after Kamala before Kamala. Joe Biden, followed by this lady, or I mean the vice president. Wow. And then they all crowded around Joe Biden for the signing. She had to like squeeze her way through the crowd to get like stand behind him. It's comical at this point. But anyway, guys, here's what I'm getting at. Unless the Democrats start yesterday, which they didn't, isn't it funny? Well, the reason we got our ass handed to us in Virginia and New Jersey and everywhere around the country is because we're not progressive enough, and we didn't have the infrastructure thing passed. They got it passed, and the most recent polls say it actually went down. So when they sit here and say the answer isn't less of us, it's more of us, they're an idiot. So the polls went down with the infrastructure package. Now they're going to spend $2 trillion on social infrastructure. I don't even know what that word means, social infrastructure. Hang on a second. What are these, Jan? What do I have, Jan? Let me take a look at how much coin. I don't know if I can buy. I want to buy a couple more of these calls, man. Maybe even just one. Well, I'm going to keep this in the background. Hang on. We'll get to why I want to. You're buying more Amazon? Stand by. So, guys, cautiously bullish with a big C and a big B. And I'll tell you why I'm bullish in a couple minutes. Walmart this morning and a couple other reasons. But, guys, we got to be Marty Feldman right now. You have to have one eye on bullish and Christmas and Black Friday and Cyber Monday and I'm not invited to Thanksgiving because I'm unvaccinated type of bullshit. And one eye on December 3rd. Do the Republicans, I can't believe I'm going to ask this, do the Republicans hold their ground and do we default on our debt? If this happens, folks, the S&P 500, we will immediately enter a bear market. You have to think like this. You have to do this type of critical thinking because if you don't and it happens, you're going to be like, what the F just happened to me? And I'm down 6 figures in my portfolio. It can happen. Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it probable? Absolutely. I'm telling you guys, looking at how the sausage is made, if they don't start today having to approve individual line items, they will not get the chunk, according to Mitch. And if they don't get the chunk, we default and everything breaks. You have to answer if that's going to happen. I'm holding my Russell and all sorts of other stuff. So we will, if we default on our debt, guys, all bets are off in December. I don't care how the consumer and the retail is doing and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. It will be an absolute implosion. Do you hear me? If you want to trade, hedge, or do a trade, now is the time to do it as we're up here. Now is the time to do it. Not when it happens, because it ain't going to be cheap. We're going to know, folks, a couple days. Remember, it's always like this. We always get up to the edge, and then everybody blinks. Is that going to happen this time? I don't know. I'm not Nostradamus. I'm Wiz. What if this is the time because Cocaine Mitch is sitting here going, dude, they got shellacked in the midterms. They're getting shellacked in the polls. We have some airspeed on the jet. Boom. Because right now, if I'm advising Mitch McConnell, I go, this is the time. Because every other time, even Trump, Nancy Pelosi's like, he's going to, veterans won't get paid and dead old people will die. With these polls so low, I think this is the only time in my recent history that we could tag them with, oh no, this is You own everything, right? The last time this was Obama, you guys owned everything: White House, Senate, and House, and they still hit the Republicans that they were to blame. This is different. Joe Biden is not Obama with his ability to spin a yarn. Does this make sense? So you, as the pilot in command of your job, I'm keeping my rut on. That's why I'm keeping my rut kind of bearish trade on. I'm through December. What's the expiration of that? Because if everything's going to implode, the Russell's going to get destroyed. Right? Let's just take a look at the IWM real quick over here. It's kind of like the rut. Wow. So, here's kind of this broke out with airspeed, and if we get a here shit show, it will be down here. Guarantee you. So I'm keeping mine on. You have to ask yourself, is it time? Right? We have this discussion every once in a while. Let's go. Is it time for what? Is it time for that? We got mid-teens VIX. Take a look at your heart rate monitor. Beep, beep, beep. Small beep, little beep, big beep. That's for you to figure out, man. I'm just giving you the intel. But the fact that I haven't heard boo about the debt ceiling other than me doing research on it and people going, yeah, the guys this morning are like, no, dude, we're all there. Firms have SOPs. Just like you should be your own trading firm, you should have your own SOP. You should have an SOP that says, hey, man, I am, if this thing's on the horizon, a potential black swan event, my SOP says I'm going to hedge all my longs. I got a ton of longs in my portfolio. I got to protect them. Then get moving. Buy puts in the name that you're in. Get long volatility. Buy puts on the rut, which is really overstretched right now. You got to do what you got to do. But as we get closer, I guarantee you, remember in the old days, like under Trump or even a Republican president, they'd have a countdown clock, like countdown to debt ceiling. Those countdown clocks really haven't gone away. I remember it was like hours and minutes with some of these folks. CNBC loves that. They're fear porn. Democrats, now it's okay. All right. Stocks a little changed as retail sales grow. Crypto is getting destroyed. Okay. We need to talk about this. Crypto carnage erases 10% of global market cap, folks. I mean, Bitcoin just imploded. Global market cap of crypto has plunged 10% in the past 24 hours. 24 hours, guys. Again, tell me. Again, I got all my crypto Scientologists in here. Somebody tell me how you can use the word currency and in 24 hours be down 10%. Somebody bought my jet yesterday with crypto. Oh, that's great. It's down 10% today. Oh my God. How do you use the word currency? Folks, currency fluctuates in like decimal points of like 10. The Canadian loonie moved 0.0001 today and it's in a bear market. I mean, currency is not supposed to move like this. Does that make sense? Dollar. I don't care how old and stodgy it is. It's old and stodgy. Right? So, it's interesting. Yeah, I get it, Tamara. But so Tamara's like, it's already back up. It's already moving back in the other direction. That's my point. You guys, when I have money in my wallet, man, it doesn't go up and down 10% in a day. Do you like going to bed at night wondering if the money in your wallet? Now, don't get me started. $100 20 years ago is worth about $7 today. Thank you, Joe Biden. That's not my point. Here's my point that I wanted to get to is this. Because I know a lot of you, I got shellacked in Mara, so I'm the first one to say, I'm an idiot with Mara, but maybe I'm not. Folks, when you see a run like this in a month, please tell me you are taking money off the table when you need to be taking money off the table. Because trust me, on my Twitter feed, on Twitter I follow like finance and investing, and 98% of it throughout the day is Bitcoin and cryptos. It's kind of annoying. I want to like unfollow it. I love the prosecutor yesterday. this beta soy boy male who picks up a gun in a courtroom and puts his finger on the trigger and like waves it around the courtroom. He went to the Alec Baldwin School of stupidity. But anyway, here's what I'm getting at. For the past month, all it is Bitcoin and to the moon and Bitcoin 300,000 and all sorts of stuff, which it could happen. But guys, at the end of the day, when you see this type of stuff, folks, it's a matter of gravity. Whatever goes up can go down, right? So just keep that in mind, man. You know, as I saw all of these massive crypto gains, I'm just kind of sitting here saying, I hope people kind of, when something hits your profit, what is your profit target, right? Before you get into a trade, before I get into a credit spread, I tell you what my profit points are. Are you doing that with your crypto stuff? It's a store of value. The majority of cryptos have nothing to do with currencies. Well, that's interesting, Tamara, since just about everybody who I talk to trades crypto says it is exactly that. It's a new dollar and it's a currency and this and that. My point being is if you're going to treat it as a store of value, are you comfortable with your stores of value going up and down 10%? If crypto, got out of my Amazon. If crypto, folks, implodes or goes back up, you just have to be, here's what I'm getting at. I don't want to get into crypto discussion. You're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change yours. Are you taking profits? Or are you just one of these people that says, I'm never going to touch it? That's great. I'm just warning you, folks. In the past couple of days, Mara down 30%. I'm like, oh my God. There was people getting into Mara up here. So just please be careful with this stuff. That's all I'm saying, man. Because people were adding to Mara up at the top. You don't know it's the top until when, folks. That's the left side of the chart. Right? The left side of the chart is when you know something's up. What did I make in Amazon there? Amazon's imploding here. What did I get out? What's that? 2470. I need to add it to my 2470 minus 22.25. All right. There's 2450. There's 5 months of access into the hunters in, what was that, 30 minutes? So there you go. Amazon's imploding. Yeah, and they did get an SEP subpoena. that didn't help either. My only point, folks, is this. Past 2-3 weeks, crypto only goes up, everything's great. It's a thing. It moves around. Please don't call it a currency. You can call it a new age currency if we're going to change the definition of currency. By definition, currency is supposed to be stable. A dollar that I have in Florida, I can travel and it's a dollar in Wisconsin, right? So that's all I'm getting at. Just be very, very careful with this stuff, okay? But yeah, an SEC subpoena does not help. What's going on with Amazon? Oh boy, yeah. Law offices of whatever. Oh, sorry, no, somebody's suing Mara. Here we go. Concerning possible violations of federal securities law. Folks, this is never a headline that you want to see, man. Possible violations of federal security laws. That is not a bullish headline, folks. Please be careful with this stuff. I'm begging you to be careful. Amazon just had a big leg down. I might buy some calls there. We'll get into that in a couple minutes. Let's get going because we have a lot to talk about. So how about retail sales today? Folks, these headlines, we'd have to talk about this. Let's take a little time right now. U.S. shoppers boosted spending last month, taking on higher prices. Retail sales rose by 1.7% in October, making a solid start to the holiday shopping season. Marking a solid start to the holiday shopping season. Brushing off concerns about higher retail prices. Wow. Spending rose sharply by 4% at online retailers. Oh boy. The elevated spending level suggests solid holiday sales this month and next. Consumers have said they're worried about inflation, but continued spending. Welcome to the United States of America, where we just spend and spend ourselves into debt and oblivion. If that's a bottom in Amazon, I'm buying that call right there. I'm adding another 3,500 call right here. Buy one. That's all I think I got enough for. Come on. Get filled, get filled, get filled. Come on, man. It's a big bottom right there. It's a big buyer that just stepped in. Whoa, that's something's going on. Somebody pounded that into the dirt and then did that. Come on, man. Here's today. All right, filled. All right. Burn, baby, burn. So here's what I'm getting at. This is America. Consumers say they're pessimistic. We have had very high inflation, but the truth is they're in very good shape right now. So, this is very, very interesting. We have laughed about Amazon and the supply chain issues. I've told you if anybody's going to not fix, but deal with the supply chain issue, it is who? It's Amazon. Yeah, all the credit cards that are paid off are going to be full again. So, folks, we do this. It seems like we do this every year. It seems like we do the standard, oh, it's going to be an awful Christmas. And then Amazon does what? It was a blowout Christmas. If in recorded history of my life, this would be a Christmas that would be a dangerous one. People are complaining like I can't even buy another turkey for Christmas type of thing. So yeah, exactly. Do we get kind of some panic buying right now? Who was that this morning? Someone been up a while. Whoever was like, get your shopping done now. So do we pull forward all this type of spending, right? So, and then what happened this morning? The Walmart CEO was on CNBC. Walmart raises forecast and says shelves are stocked for holiday shoppers. Where's my Amazon over here? Hang on. Okay, there we go. Let me keep an eye on that one. No, I'm just adding. We can talk about it when I get tactical. No, I just added. I'm going to start trading some of these calls. What did I get filled at? 171. All right, it's already making money. There you go. But it's also rolling over. I don't know if that was a dead cat bounce or not. So here's the deal. Is the fact that look at this. Comp sales jumped 9.2%, fueled by groceries. Retailer sales has plenty of inventory despite global supply chain problems. Okay. This is great news for an Amazon and XRT. I tell you to get your seasonal trades on, right? The Amazon XRT, XLY, and Visa. This looks good, folks. I mean, this is just, and we laughed about Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos isn't a charity. I'm sure he does charitable works, but he's not going to eat those prices. He's not going to eat. He's going to pass that on to us. And it appears that we're willing to take on that debt. I guarantee you my wife ain't going to do, hey, we're going to cut back on our, Jack, Keely, and Matthew are going to get less gifts this year. We just go deeper into debt, right? So, this is good news. This is great news. I was not expecting this, so I changed my investment thesis. Colin Powell said, don't get too close to your strategic position. That when presented with new intel, you don't change it. Wrong. Walmart saying this morning, and the CEO had a great interview this morning. Said, hey, man, game on. We're not seeing any issues. Boom. Mic drop. That is great news. And remember, last year we were still, not me, people were still in COVID prison. More shoppers visited stores than they did in the same period last year, with traffic up 5.7% and spending up. A sign that shopping habits may be normalizing after years' extreme shifts in buying behavior. Okay, so I am happy with this. I'm digging it, man. This is good stuff. This was good news as well. Holiday spending is on the rise, led by Gen Z and millennials. Yeah, I can cover seasonal trades. I think I covered them a month ago, but we can talk about them again. Holiday season is upon us, and while the pandemic lingers, unless you live in Texas and Florida, spending is on the rise. Wow. 26% of Americans are expected to spend more during the holidays than they did last year, a 10 percentage point increase. Add 10% to Amazon's bottom line, and they will have blowout earnings. This is great news. The increase is driven largely by the younger generations, as 44% of Gen Z and 33% millennials expect to spend more. Wow. Americans are also making up for holiday spending last year where they were cautious, as 51% say they are planning to spoil their loved ones with more. Guys, this could not be more bullish. I'm stunned. I expect this year's holiday season to be a busy one as the economy continues to improve. Doesn't come without its challenges, right? Obviously. Consumers should use credit options. This also helps Amazon with whoever that deferred payment, pay now later, or buy now, pay later thing was. More Americans are planning to shop in store this year, rebounding near 2019 levels. Wow. The good old days, right? I'll always remember January of 2020 as the good old days. Stock market at record highs, unemployment at record lows, beat the Chinese into a trade deal. We were absolutely awesome. Then I got COVID and everything imploded. And then we made millionaires. Split on holiday travel, though. That's an interesting part of this report. Yes, I can share you this link. The Discover report. Yeah. This is good reading. I sat here with my cup of coffee and I was like, game on. That is my commit criteria for just buying another Amazon call. Many big companies are splitting, but conglomerates here to stay. I talked about this a little bit in solo Amazon. GE and Johnson & Johnson announced in the past week they're both breaking up, man, in the smaller companies. Amazon, they talk about, ain't going to happen. It is the behemoth. So this was a pretty bullish article on Amazon as well. This is what hedge funds bought and sold in Q3. I love this time of when these all the hedge fund intel comes out. And it's Affirm. Yeah, thank you. So in the single name, we need to listen to this. Alibaba and Amazon.com were the biggest aggregate sales in the sector, in the consumer discretionary sector. Wiz, what the hell are you doing, man? You just bought another Amazon call. People are selling. No, we're selling. We're selling. This is looking in the rear view mirror. They sold Amazon in this time frame. You ain't looking at their current 13Fs, where I think this is going to happen. 13F is looking in the rear. Don't forget that. Okay. So I thought that was interesting. But there were firms that added some of this stuff. Soros added bets on real estate and financial stocks. Hopefully he's buying real estate in hell. That's not nice to say. McDonald's, Warren Berkshire cutting back on Visa and MasterCard. There wasn't too much interesting stuff in here. Ackman did some more Chipotle. Lowe's is his biggest holding. David Tepper, Macy's. Ew, I didn't even know they were still in business. I love this one. Plotkin's Melvin Capital. Remember old Melvin Capital, the dude who was getting hammered and blown out by you and me, the retail traders, in February? Good old Melvin Capital that had to be bailed out by Ken Griffin at Citadel and Stevie Cohen. Melvin Capital increased its holdings in Snap while pairing Amazon. In the fourth quarter, Snap imploded and Amazon surged. There's your smart money, Gabe Plotkin. So good stuff. I love picking through this stuff. But again, I've done this before, guys, too. 13F is old. I've helped write 13Fs up in Chicago. We had a hedge fund. And maybe on the last day that you had to get your 13F in, you bought something or sold something, so one of your competitors thinks you actually had that the whole time. Trading is combat. So some of this stuff might, I'll leave it at that. What did I pay for this call? That's a good run in Amazon off the bottom here. So I bought that call at 171. It's up at 175.20. Go, baby. I'll take a little cash money. We talked cryptos, talked Rivian. Okay. Love your insights. Awesome stuff. I appreciate it. It's funny, man. People stay here. Like I said, people have been in TGO for 11 years, not because they didn't learn anything. It's because I love doing this, though, man. I love getting the intel. I love my network and listening to my calls. And I'd be doing this. Stand by in the primary live trade brief. Got Amazon intel, call me, okay? Dude, I'm in my trade brief. All right, well, I hope maybe that's why it turned around. See, this is why you also want to, as Pam says, I'm loving it too, finding my passion. If I wasn't sitting here, I would be sitting here. I'd be doing whatever on my own, flying my jets and my foundation or whatever. I love doing this, turning on my camera and talking to you guys because this you're seeing what I'm doing. So a couple things I wanted to talk about. I breezed through it at the beginning, but I shouldn't. If you, not me, if you believe there's a potential shit show coming with not with the Republicans, with the Democrats only. Folks, when you own everything, you own everything. When you own the White House, the Senate, and the House, Mitch McConnell can sit there and go, you're in charge. Do whatever you want. And of course, Chuck Schumer sits there and goes, oh, you obstructionist, whatever. It's like, what? We can't do anything. And by the way, you want to end the filibuster, so you're destroying us. So, folks, you gotta sit here, and if you are not pretending, you are a fund manager. You're managing your own funds. If you're sitting here going, hey, man, that's a distinct possibility. Even though we just briefed, this is why I told you I'm CB. Big cautious, big bullish. I'm big bullish because everybody doesn't care. We're all in debt, inflation. I don't care if the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip is $10 more. I'm getting it for my son. Well, guess what? Then the market goes up. Amazon, XLY, XRT, and Visa or PayPal. If you want to delete Visa and put in other merchant providers, put in another merchant provider. That should kind of be your Christmas portfolio. However, this is a big threat, folks. Look at your heart rate monitor right there. Do we just flatline through December? Or do we at least, you ready for this? Or do we at least get a scare? Does Mitch take us up to the edge? So Joe Biden, through his dementia, admitted the other day, he's like, maybe all these stimulus payments to everybody caused some inflation, as well as Jerome Powell just printing money out of the back of his town car. Yeah. So, do you get some protection on? I already gave 3-4 weeks ago my hedge trade trade speech. You got to decide. You know what? I'm going to buy some VIX Lotto calls. Go out to the beginning of December and maybe buy some, cover the potential shit show. What would that be? December 8th. I mean, technically, the December 1st calls, I mean, we're going to know a day or two before December 3rd if we're going to default. But I wouldn't do that. I'd do the December 8th calls to potentially hedge of a, you know, a clown car. Oh, that's awesome, Goose. Let me share that one. Teamwork is making my dream work. TGO is that team, and my last 2 years have been the best trading of my 25 years. That's awesome, man. So you gotta take a look at whether or not you believe this is going to happen. Are we going to have some sort of uh, just implosion? It can happen, guys. But just like in the old days, the government shutdowns, it's most likely going to be short-lived. If the government shuts down for a couple hours or a day, all sorts of shit starts firing. Even the Republicans are going to admit that, oh my God, we kind of look stupid. We should probably get something done. And guess what? They probably will. But we did this. I love the government shutdowns. John Boehner, Barack Obama, and Harry Reid, and this and that, and John Boehner crying at the microphone. It was awesome. We was shooting fish in a barrel. Those were the days of the bullish and bearish double verticals on VXX or VIX, man. But with Jerome Powell and a Fed that just doesn't let any of that happen, we just keep going straight up. So you have to, there you go. U.S. shoppers accelerate spending, rising prices, not slowing purchases so far. What might cause a ripple? Thanksgiving shopping. I can't make an extra pie. I can't afford the ingredients. Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. They're just weak. Always look at threats to your thesis. Okay. All right. So covered that. I got that check in the block on my brief card. Hedge if you need to. We already talked about the Russell might be one that might outsize. Buy some puts on the Russell. Buy a bear put spread. Buy some VIX calls, bullish calls on VIX. Let's take a look at some of these strikes. Let's go out to that expiration. Wow. Whoa. Holy crap. Look at this strike. The Dece. Look at this. This is the regular December, guys. This isn't the initial one I was looking at. This is the regular December. Look at the 20 strike. 93,000. That's a big chunk. Whoa. Look at the round numbers here, guys. Look at the 30 strike. 146,000. Look at the 35 strike. 113. So the 20, 30, 35 strikes. Folks, the 30 strike means the VIX doubles. There's somebody out there thinking the VIX is going to double between now. Look, this is a month away. Whoa. It might be some time for some lotto ticket VIX calls, folks. Let me talk to my VIX buddy. He has the ability he can dig into some of these strikes. I don't use him that much because I look at the VIX every once in a while. He lives it. So Goose, my hedge fund buddy told me this is a tax sell-off insurance policy. Guys, we still don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year. That's a great strike to look at, or I'm sorry, expiration. We're going to know mid-December if I'm going to know if I need to dump a bunch of stuff. But knowing the Democrats are spiteful and just bad people, what if they make it retroactive to last January? Isn't that great what politicians do? We're raising your taxes. Oh, great. When's that start? So I can start planning. A year ago. Wait, what did you say? We're taxing you based on a year ago. retroactive tax. If they come out with some sort of retroactive capital gains thing, guys, holy shit. Or they're continuing with their stupid fucking crack pipe of taxing unrealized gains. Wiz, I bought this house for 200 grand 20 years ago. It's worth $1 million now. Guess what? You're paying tax on $800,000. What? I didn't sell it. I still live in it. It doesn't matter. Democrats don't care. They think you've made 800 grand. You can't fix stupid. This is how republics end, folks. This is how republics end. Democrats who just look at any way to grab money for their gender studies training or their critical race theory. Alex de Tocqueville, right? Is that how you say it? I'm going to read you this quote, man. It popped up as a memory of mine. A democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves largesse from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates promising the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that a democracy always collapses over loose fiscal policy, always followed by a dictatorship. The average of the world's greatest civilizations has been 200 years. Yep. Oh, what was the other one? The Roman one. It's over with, guys. Where is that? Very smart man. It's the truth. I remember that idiot from Utah. I want my vote back, man. He's like, what's his name? He's like, how can he run against Obama? He's like, how do you run against Santa Claus? How do you run against a guy that promises everything? And I'm promising to be the adult. Yeah, Mitt Romney. Cicero, Marcus Tullius Cicero. Yeah, I'm the type of guy that has quotes on his phone. Do not blame Caesar. Blame the people of Rome, who have so enthusiastically acclaimed and adored him, and rejoiced in their loss of freedom, and danced in his path and gave him his triumphal processions. Blame the people who hail him when he speaks in the forum of the new wonderful good society, which shall now be Rome's, interpreted to mean more money, more ease, more security, more living fatly at the expense of the industrious. Here's your history lesson for the day. Isn't that awesome? Those are good quotes. That is Joe Biden, not Caesar. Donald Trump is a dictator. He's this. He's a fascist. Turns out Joe Biden is everything that they warned us Donald Trump was. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry I'm dragging on here, but VIX, this is all stuff I have to get out and cover because I'm going through all this and I'm passing it on to you. Pam asked earlier about seasonal trades, Santa Claus trades. Pam, hopefully you do. If you don't, you're doing it right now. XLY, XRT, Amazon, Visa, PayPal, MasterCard. You pick one. I like Visa. These should pop up on your phone every November 1st as a seasonal trade. Meaning, in my 31 years of doing this, I remember Mnuchin. There are a couple, actually not Mnuchin, Jerome Powell. I remember 2-3 years ago, in October 3rd, Fed chief Jerome Powell, who says we're going to raise interest rates, and for 3 months we went into a bear market. What no Christmas rally. Take that year out. Let's say 90% of the time that I've been doing this, 31 years, 9% of the time, I can't do the math, you get a Santa Claus rally. This is the first time in my life that I can remember. I don't remember being young in the 70s when my parents probably couldn't buy a lot of Christmas gifts because of Jimmy Carter. but I just showed you data. Walmart saying we're good and we're seeing increased demand. Discover report, no, millennials and Gen X are going to buy like they're drunken sailors. So you should be getting bullish in all of these names. Arthur, that's a larger discussion. Is Jerome Powell going to get replaced today by Brainerd? I don't know. So Arthur, two schools of thought. The market doesn't like it because Jerome Powell's steady. He's been there for a while. The dude should be raising interest rates and stopping QE immediately. He should be tapering right now. He isn't. Brainerd being more of a dove is awful, but is bullish. If she comes in and we're going to taper less, or we're not raising interest rates for the next 90 years, that's bullish. It's bad for the country, bullish for the market. Does that make sense? So it's a different discussion. And the seasonal trades means out to January, okay? Ted, I'm going to end the brief with your question. Don't let me forget it. Ted says, how do you balance the Santa Claus trade versus the shit show? I kind of covered it, but I'll summarize the end. But Ann and Pam, you got to get into like an Amazon. I'm doing it. My seasonal trade is on the screen. I am long 11 Jan 22 3,500 Amazon calls, period. Does that make sense? That's my seasonal trade. XRT. XRT, we haven't talked about in a while, is the retail ETF. Based on the news that came out, that's a pretty big run, but it can keep running. So a couple ways to do this, guys. We can do the, you can just buy calls. Go out and buy some upside calls in XRT, Amazon, XLY, Visa. Do a bull put spread. Do a bull call spread. You can do 1,000 different things if you're bullish in those names for a Santa Claus trade. Do a bullish double vertical, okay? So I would go out to January. Let's take a look at a year ago. How did the XRT? Wow, look at this, guys. Look at last year in the COVID crash. Look at this. And then there's your February shit show. Remember, guys, write this down. Get out of seasonal trades before they expire in January. Why do you wait until January? Because after my birthday, New Year's Eve, subtle plug, Christmas and birthday, I used to get screwed. Joint Christmas and birthday gifts. Happy birthday and Christmas, Matthew. Thanks. After my birthday in January, we destroyed Christmas. We get all the Christmas reports, or Kwanzaa or winter solstice or whatever you celebrate. So, and sometimes I exit them before the earnings. Like even the January Amazon earnings, I'm like, buy the rumor, sell the news, which we've seen about 90 times in Amazon recently. So I tend to exit my seasonal trades in January. Okay, so my seasonal trade was on the screen. 11 Amazon call contracts. I'm trading in and out of the short calls in them, and I might trade in and out of that long call. What's that long call up right now? Because it looks like we're kind of running. I like to run up to 35.50. What's that trade up, right? What's that long call up? I bought it at 171. It's at so it's up $800 in an hour. Anybody buy that call? I'll take $800 in an hour. Along with the 24.50 that I made a little while ago, that's 32.50. So write these down, guys, and I don't want to go super long. Maybe tomorrow in the weekly options we can take I'll make them these trades if you want me to dig it into no shit trades, because I think Ted has one I want to end on. Steve's up 600. Pam's up 700. Good for you. Eric, Wiz, possibly tomorrow or Thursday, can you go over what a 1x2 trade is? You got it. I forgot to do that. I was going to do that today. See, we're busy, man. So much cool shit going on. But so Ted has a great point, and I don't think I covered it too well if he's still asking. How do you balance the potential December shit show with the Santa Claus rally? Ted, let's go to the white space. Let's go to the whiteboard. Let's pull up SPX. So there's a couple ways to skin this cat, Ted. Let's say both of these things happen. Let's attack first that. There's going to be a Santa Claus rally. Walmart just said there's going to be, and so did the Discover report. Maybe the Amazon, Visa, PayPal, XRT, XLY doesn't get hit as bad in a shit show. So you stay bullish in those names while getting bearish on if there is a holy shit. So the little old lady in tennis shoes buying her grandson Christmas presents on Amazon, does she care on December 3rd that we defaulted on our debt and our AAA credit rating and Moody's and S&P? It's kind of more squawking on TV and Washington doesn't work. And so I don't think a debt ceiling debacle might hit the retail names. If it's a awful, like, oh my God, for the first time in fill in the blank, we defaulted on our debt and everything implodes, they're going to implode too. Maybe less, but maybe that's a buying opportunity. Write that down. So maybe first choice is you do both. I'm long my Christmas, my seasonal trades, and I'm buying some protection, either getting long volatility or buying some puts on the S&P 500. Guys, this is, if we get a December shit show, I mean, 4,600 is a distinct possibility. Or back down here to this, technically back down here to where we lifted off would be the 50-day moving average, folks. So choice one, I'm not going to write it in the white space here. Choice one would be stay long seasonal and hedge. Because if you're going to stay long stuff, that means you're bullish. Well, Wiz, I got a lot of Christmas stuff. I got about 200 grand in Christmas Amazon. Well, shit, maybe I should buy some VIX calls and some Russell, or S&P puts. So Ted, that would be step one. Okay. Step two is to get out of the seasonal trades right now. If you think so, this all depends on you, Ted, because you have to make the decision based on your experience. I'm telling you what I believe. I believe Mitch McConnell will take us up as far as he got. We got a day last time, a day or two. I forget what happened in October. It was a year ago. I forget how close he got. And he did his, we're not going to help you, we're not going to help you. Okay, we helped you, but in December, we're really not helping you. So Ted, if you're like, I think it's better than a 50-50 chance that we get a shit show. Then, get out of your seasonal trades. And well, let me do this, Ted. You guys know when I put a question mark out here, I don't know what's going to happen. If Mitch doesn't blink and if we default on our debt, folks, there's automatic things that happen, right? CalPERS, the largest pension in the world type of thing, they have an SOP. Their investment thesis or document is probably 98 pages, and 15 of it says, hey, if in the event, we're not allowed to invest in securities that have these things. And if treasuries, the most safest things on the face of the planet, are dangerous, they have to sell a bunch of shit. This is all automatic too, guys. This stuff's programmed, right? I remember the day we lost our AAA credit rating from Standard & Poor's under Barack Hussein Obama, man. Shit started firing until dudes and ladies went in there and hit Control-Alt-Delete like, no. It's not as bad as that. And so I'm mumbling because I've seen this before, but not this before. So I guess step two, Ted, would be, hey, man, I have no clue what's going on. We're up here at market record highs. I'm gonna smarmy on over to the cash bin and sit here, because if we do get that shit show, it will be short-lived and violent, which will be what? December 3rd, which gives you an opportunity to do what? Get back in or get into the seasonal trades. Maybe that's number 3 in our little checklist here is if there's, you know what, I think Mitch is going to make them default. He sees political victory. It'll be a day, a couple hours, but it'll happen on paper. And then I walk in and buy Amazon at a discount. That's number 3. See, I love talking about this shit because I get to think through it. Does that make sense? So, Zero Hedge just posted Turkey on the verge of collapse as the lira implodes, crashes 4% in minutes. Whoa. You're welcome, Ted. So hopefully that gives you. Why don't we do this? Let's take that as some homework. You give it the 24-hour rule, man. Usually when I do this stuff, I pick other people's brains. I red team, but I also put it out to you guys. And then let's get back together for weekly. I didn't want to do weekly option trade this week because I'm like, I got burned on the Tesla last week. I'm not liking. I'm not liking that. First of all, I don't place a trade if I don't like it. I don't force trades ever. Is there a weekly options trade this week? Not out of me. I'm doing some day trades in Amazon, but as far as a couple day trade, yeah, because of this, man. This was a pullback to 46.50, and is this a dead bat bounce and higher or lower? I don't like those type of inflection days. You need a day or two to see if it is going to go higher or lower. If we break the 46.50, it's look out below. If we hold here, it's a buying opportunity. I don't like flipping coins. So let's do that. Well, let's think through number 1, number 2, and number 3, and you guys decide what you're going to do. Because I'm the pilot in command of these 2 portfolios. My wife and I trade ours, right? Even I got my kids trading their own. I don't fly theirs, man. Susie and I, yeah, but everybody else, man. So fly around your airplane and take a look. Got into a VIX call. Thanks. You got it, Benoit. Good call, man. You can never go wrong. If the hair in the back of your neck's standing up like, I probably want to get a VIX call on here. Get a VIX call on, baby. It does not hurt. Looks like Amazon might have run out of some airspeed for now, but that call is up $800 right now in the hour that we talked. And all you had to do was buy 1 VIX call, right? So that's some good stuff. I'm probably going to hang on. I mean, I could sell another call against it, but I'm kind of I got my 11 calls right now. But yeah, before you go, let me just give you an example of how I do this stuff. I'm holding the Tesla. I got out of the Tesla short put yesterday. So to Eric's point, maybe on Thursday we'll brief the 1x2. I got out of the Tesla short put because it bounced yesterday for even money. But I'm holding these. These are disaster puts. These are, the next couple week of disaster puts. So I'm gonna keep these on because if we are gonna get an implosion soon, Tesla's gonna be a massive part of that, man. I mean, a 3% pop today is yay, but where are we? Let's take a look at that chart. That's why I bought them right at 1,000, guys. This is the Mason-Dixon line. Implosion, bounce, implosion, bounce. This is a pennant. That is a pretty tight pennant formation right there for Tesla. It's either going to do that or it's going to do this, guys. So I'm going to hang for the potential to do that. Make sense? Cool. All right, guys, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, this felt like a good brief. I love doing this stuff, man. All right, guys, I got to get going. Good stuff. Like I said, jump into the hunters if you get a chance. In the past 2 days, what's that? That's $14,000 just in my Amazon trades. And again, even if you're not trading a big account, take a decimal point off that, and it's still good. Like I said, Christine's over in the she did 5 yesterday based on our Amazon short trades, $5,000 in a day. $5,000 times, what is it, 256 trading days? It's $1.3 million in a year. Or let's just do, if you did $5,000 a week, 5 times 52 trading weeks, 333,000. So Christine could be done for the week, man. Hey, I made $5,000 on Monday and I'm done. That's the way I used to trade, man. When I had a smaller portfolio, I'm like, oh my God, man, I just made $5,000 today. I'm done for the week. Go on, take the money and run. So yeah, jump into the hunters and give it a shot. The link's in the chat box. TopGunOptions.com/hunters-SDIS. That stands for Self-Directed Investment Squadron -monthly. Hunters-SDS-monthly. Oh, I appreciate that, Rebecca. Yeah, I'm just stumbling around through life, man. The treatment, the medicine, and then this podcast. They cracked me up, man. When the guy said, he's like, dude, do you know you're in the top 3% of podcasts in the world? I'm like, what's that? He's like, there's 2.7 million podcasts. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I am happy with that. I'm like, okay, whatever. Go Amazon. So yeah, we're going to start having more guests. The episode 9 was really cool with Ponch. If you know that the Sliders 5 MEO experience, Christina said her husband Herb, I guess when he re-listened to it, like it brought him back. It brought me back when I was sitting there listening to Slider tell me about his 5 MEO experience, man. I had tears in my eyes. God bless that guy. I mean, he going through some shit. And I actually have a call with our producer today because it's interesting. You know, the more I unpack, you know, a lot of the aviators, my buddies, and our PTSD, depression issues, anxiety issues, not only that, but physical issues, man. My hearing, you guys know my hearing, the tinnitus is debilitating, but also the back and neck. You pulled 9 Gs for 15 years, man. Your body's messed up. And then landing aboard an aircraft carrier, go Amazon. Landing aboard an aircraft carrier, guys, is jumping off a 3-story building. Imagine what that does to your spine. And then a catapult shot, 0 to 150 miles an hour. Every flight that I did that was like a dogfight was violent, man. So thanks, Goose. I don't know, man. This is the way the Lord works, man. And I'm telling you, after doing the medicine, I kind of feel like I see the Matrix more. You guys were live when this happened. I did this in front of you, so this ain't today. We did what? I bought another long call right around here. I looked at my phone a couple minutes later. Went to my buddy's like, dude, call me. I got some Amazon intel. I did it before I looked. You guys saw it. It's on. So I don't know. Here we go to the moon. So that call is up. Holy shit. That's about $2,000 right now. Keep going, baby. All right, man. Good stuff. If you have any questions about the hunters or even lifetime, I know folks, Steve's up $1,200 on his Amazon call. Go, baby, go. If you got any questions, you can always shoot me an email, wiz@topgunoptions.com about the Max Afterburner. I had somebody email me about the lifetime. The lifetime's clearly the way to go if you can swing it. But if you can't, start over there in the hunters. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge and God bless. Namaste. And I'll get you guys the recording here in a little bit. Cheers.